Go to the MCG to see how the game pans out. We'll pick it up from the opening bounce, and your commentators are Ray White and Don Scott.
Don Scott welcoming you to the game of the day, Pro Football's game of the day, Footscray versus Richmond. Both sides desperately need to win this game. Footscray to get into the 5 and Richmond to return. And I welcome Ray White, my fellow commentator.
Thanks, Don. As we have free kick played there to the Richmond player, and the Tigers, Dean Notting getting the free on the half-back line. A little pass across there. Number 39, Craig Smith, takes the mark. Well, a very vital game for both sides because this is a very important game for their final 5 aspirations, Don. And a little prediction from you, Don, on the result?
Well, I believe Richmond could get back into it. They've lost the last couple of games, but they played pretty well against Sydney a couple of weeks ago. Footscray have returned, and we see the ball now going high towards Beasley. Beasley has the ball punched away, comes to ground. Picked up by Macpherson, snapped for goal. What has he done? Has he kicked truly? It's the first score of the game, going to Footscray and kicked by number 27, Steve Macpherson. And that's what Footscray needed, something to get away with, and Richmond now have got to peg them back.
Well, Footscray certainly in the last 2 weeks have come back to their 1985 form after a disappointing start to the season and beating top sides Hawthorn and Footscray and winning the night game against Fitzroy. And the Richmond side have been a little bit disappointing since their big win a fortnight ago in Sydney when they beat the Sydney Swans.
I need a change for Footscray. We've got Crow and McLean, and for Richmond, Pert and Manton.
Well, the ball comes out of the centre from Johnny Annear, and he sends it down to the half-forward flank, trying to trap it there, Stephen James. And I think you'll find the umpire has given a free kick against Alan Daniels, a little bit high, and Stephen James back in the side today after being in the seconds for the last couple of weeks. Tries to balk around Daniels, sends it up there, but Brad Hardy, couldn't hold the mark. To support his Callett, Eustice. Players, Kennedy, players will fall on top of it, and we'll find that umpire Clayton will ball the ball up.
Well, there's a little bit of a skirmish on behind play. James and Daniels, there's Petraglia involved, and we've got one umpire separating that, and the action back with the umpire bouncing the ball. Pack around the ball, nobody can get it out. Players throwing themselves down on top of the ball, and the umpire will have to come in. He's going to bounce it. I would have played a free kick just to break up play. It's an overcast day. In fact, light rain is falling. It's 12 degrees. It's a beautiful day as far as football is concerned. These types of days were the days that I like to play because you didn't have to be bothered about the sun, and it wasn't hot, and you could really throw yourself into a game of football. As we see here, the ball being paddled out towards the boundary line. Hardy, hot on the heels of Poole. That was a good hand pass across to John Annear. Annear, the former Claremont player. Collingwood, then Richmond. Back to Pert. Poole high into full forward. Pack set themselves, punched away. Picked up by Richmond's Terry Smith. A quick kick as he gets tackled. Sends it further. Footscray player there, Tim Jepp, number 12. Can't control the ball, and we'll see it over the boundary line to be thrown in Richmond's right forward pocket. Tim Jepp, the former Richmond player, and now playing for Footscray. Do the battle Lee and Purser, they're both number 1s. Ball comes to ground, nobody, players again throwing themselves over top. A quick hand pass coming out, and Weightman, was it? I think it was Dale Weightman, and he's kicked Richmond's first score, and it's 1 point, so 1 goal to Footscray, 6 Richmond, 1 solitary point, trailing by 5 points, and we've played 3.5 minutes of this first quarter as Kennedy comes in to relieve. They kick in and out. Hardy leading in the race for the ball over his head, and Cordy taps the ball over the boundary line to be thrown in on Richmond's right half-forward flank.
Well, light rain falling here at the MCG, and about 35,000 in attendance as the big fellas, Lee and Purser. No one can control the ball. Kicked off the ground there by Cordy. Goes out to the centre wing, and the players will let the ball go over the line and out of bounds. Well, a very important game to both sides, and Footscray at the moment sitting at 8th position on the ladder, and Richmond one game behind them in 9th position. And this is an important game, especially the Bulldogs, because they need this one to get into the 5 as the big fellas go again. It's Footscray back down there, punched away by the Tigers. Coming in there as Callett gets the hand pass out the top, but taken there by the Richmond side, and that will go over the line out of bounds by Poole, and on the centre wing, and the ground. Actually, Don is in very good condition. The
well,
MCG.
it is good. It is good, Ray, because no team trains on this. They use it solely for football, and whereas before Melbourne used to train on it, it did get cut up, and the grass used to literally wear out.
Well, we'll find there at Terry Smith, who came into the side today, sends the ball down to the half-forward line. Roach, Kennedy behind him. Eustice, the ex-Essendon player, couldn't pick the ball up. Off the ground there from Brendan Bowyer. It comes out there to the half-forward line. And the Richmond player trying to force it in front of him there is James. Flicks it back, good play. Picked up by Annear. A little chip shot over the top of Eustice. Oh, good play, Lee. A good fair bump on Mark Keller. But Cordy should relieve with a long hand pass. Oh, bad play, young Bauer. He tries to handball back to his captain, Lee. Taps it on. Players can't control it. Smith again, very scrambly. Comes back into the centre. Peter Francis trying to control it. Petraglia under the ball. Oh, could have been a free kick to Richmond there, Don. And the player on the 50-yard line looks like just trying to wait till he turns around. Looks like Ronnie Thornton, I think, Don, holding the chest. So Ron Thornton at the 50-metre yard line, sending it to full forward, looking for Michael Roach. He leads out, punched away. Oh, should have been a free kick then to Dale Weightman.
And Weightman takes the free kick, only 30 metres from goal on a slight angle, only 45-degree angle, so the goal is relatively open. Now Weightman right on that 50-metre line as he starts his run in. Nice high ball, nice off the boot, and he is Pickering for Richmond's first major. Richmond 1-1-7, leading Footscray one solitary goal by 1 point. That was good play by Weightman there, courageous play. He had to go and get the ball, and he copped a high one. But it didn't do too much damage as he lined up and kicked from only 30 metres out from goal. Now, if Footscray can win this game, they won't advance into the 5. They will go into 6th position or 5th position in front of Fitzroy, and will be out of the 5 on mere percentages. Purser can't control the ball. Comes down to Eustice. A quick one out to Rioli. Now playing in 27. Guernsey plays on quickly. Gets a hand pass. Annear, can he control? He does. It got back to Rioli. Rioli gets tackled and over the top, and Kennedy, the Footscray captain, takes a good mark on Richmond's left forward flank. Now Kennedy relieves for Footscray. Centre wing. Poole up. Punches down. Over the ball is Smith playing well. James and Hardy. James controlling the ball. Goes on to, I thought, the left foot, but he hand passes instead. Across to Thornton, and Thornton across to Bauer. Bauer, a quick hand pass. Jess in over the top of the ball. Back to Hardy. Well down. Goes and chip pass towards Beasley. Has he taken it? He has. Good play, Footscray. Good pass, Brad Hardy. Good lead, Simon Beasley. The two Western Australians combining there. And Beasley only a degree or 45-degree angle from goal. And the distance won't be a problem. Some 20 metres out on a 45-degree angle. Now, can he kick Footscray's second? Very deliberate. Ball nicely off the boot, and I think he's kicked truly. He has. And there's Footscray's second goal. They're leading Richmond. 2 solitary goals, 12 points. Richmond 1-1-7. And we've played 8.5 minutes of this first quarter, and there is light drizzly rain falling. It hasn't hampered the handling of the ball. And the temperature is 12 degrees. It's going to be a cold day before we're finished with this game.
Well, that was Simon Beasley's 36th goal for the 86 season. And he's the key to this Footscray attack. When he plays well, Footscray play well. And he's a very important cog in the Footscray lineup. As the ball's back in the centre. Umpire McDonald, Purser and Lee. Lee gets the hit out. Dale Weightman coming through as Bauer. Keller tries to stop him. Good play. Rioli can't control it. Flicks it back out. Eustice is there. Phil Maylin comes out. Purser couldn't control it. But Footscray back into attack. And it's being taken there by number 25 for the Footscray side is Greg Somerville. Up to the forward line, but Richmond will relieve. James with Allan Daniels, but they're a little bit fumbling Richmond, and giving Footscray the opportunity and Petraglia there, but a good play there from the Tigers, and Craig Smith comes out on the left foot, tries to find Eustice, not a good pass, and very nicely played by Michael Ford. He sends up the forward line, and a great mark there by Murray Rance, number 15, and Murray Rance, the recruit this year from Swan Districts in Western Australia. Actually, the last few weeks, Murray Rance has matured as a footballer in VFL ranks and is becoming a very prominent player in the Footscray side. On the left foot, but not a good kick. He swings it off and will go out of bounds on the full. And coming up to the 11-minute mark at the MCG, and we've got Footscray 2 goals, 12 points, leading Richmond 1 goal, 1-7.
Now Richmond to relieve the pressure, and it's a free kick going to Dean Notting, I think. It is Notting, and he kicks out towards the 2 big number 1s. Lee and Purser over their head. Leading in the race is Francis. Francis, who started his career at Carlton, moved to Fitzroy, and now at Richmond kicks the ball over the boundary line, and the free kick will be awarded to Footscray. He's played 10.5 minutes of this first quarter. It's a high ball, and Jess in front takes a very good run. Jimmy Jess, the Richmond centre-half back and vice-captain, goes long towards centre-half forward. Pickering up, can't control it. Kellett 3. A clearing kick back to where it came. Jess there. Well done, Rance. Knocked the ball on, and the ball will be thrown in on Footscray's right forward flank. 7 points, Richmond 1-1-7. Footscray 2 goals, 12 points. And rain is continuing to fall, light drizzly rain. Jess over the back. Francis. Nobody can control the ball. Players throwing themselves in, and the umpire has got to come in and ball up. This ground in very, very good conditions. The best I've seen it for a long, long time. Mainly due to the fact that teams don't train on this, namely Melbourne, through the week, and it gives a chance of the grass to recover after a solid weekend's work. And again, the umpire will have to come in, and it's a stalemate in more or less the same position as which he bounced the ball some 15 seconds earlier. The umpire's in control of today's game. Umpire McDonald and Clayton. There's a good bounce into the back there. Jimmy Jess and Murray Rance, who was doing the ruck work against Jimmy Jess, got front position and take the free kick 60 metres from goal. Now a 45-degree angle. He won't make the distance. He'll have to look. Not many people moving up on the forward line, so he's got to go long. He does. It's a high kick right into the goal square. A nice-looking kick. Beasley in front. He's got front position. Can't control. Off the hands of the pack. And that's Steve Macpherson's second goal. And Footscray's third. 3 straight goals, 18. 1-1-7. Well done, Steve Macpherson. Good from Simon Beasley as well. Beasley got in front there, had the 2 Richmond players behind him. They had to punch the ball away because of the fact that he was in that front position. The ball came to ground, and raving very well. In fact, he put himself right in front of that pack, realising what they were doing, and Steve Macpherson snapped his second goal.
Well, Footscray looking a little bit more controlled at the 13-minute mark of the first quarter, and holding a 11-point lead. And the Tigers have got to work harder today because they've been disappointing in the last couple of weeks. As Lee and Purser, a good tap down. Stephen Wallace kicked off the ground by Eustice. Could have been a free kick there, I would say. No, he said play on, and Cordy sends the ball back out. Francis comes to the ground. Daniels picked up there by number 11, Tony McGuinness, the ex-Glenelg South Australian player, and goes out of bounds at the 50-metre line on the half forward flank for the Footscray side. Well, Footscray 18 and leading Richmond 7. There's Jim Jess behind the back, but punched away there by Purser. Peter Francis and will be Phil Maylin will follow the ball over the line and out of bounds. Jimmy Jess will have to get himself in the front position now. He's been caught behind twice at these ruck throw-ins, either a boundary throw-in or a ruck ball up. Again, he's behind. He's trying to use his leap, but he'll have to watch he doesn't infringe. Well, Donny's only about 6'1". It's unusual, but they haven't got another big man really, Richmond, in the side. So I guess that, as you say, he's got to get in front of him. He's going to try and do that work. As Dale Weightman over to Trevor Smith. He's got Notting over there, and he flicks it over the top, and the ball comes out to Bauer, and chasing it is Rick Kinney, the captain. Steadies around on his right foot and sends it along to the kick to the boundary, and very well done, but it's, I suppose it's not well done because it didn't bounce. It went out of bounds on the full, but it's send Richmond out of the attacking zone, and there'll be a free kick on the centre wing there to Footscray. So it's John Annear ascended up to the centre half forward, and Misty Rain and Andrew Purser takes a nice quiet mark in defence. Alan Daniels steadying the play down. Brad Hardy passing him by, but he ignores him. So Alan Daniels sends it straight up to the centre of the ground, but 23 should be taking a mark there. It's 23 Trevor Poole will take a mark in the centre of the ground for the Tigers. Well, Richmond have got to go direct and straight down the centre, because Footscray are a very confident type of side. If they get their run on, they are a very hard side to stop. Hardy on his own as normal, can't control the ball as the Richmond player coming in there and couldn't stop him from the ball going over the line and out of bounce in the forward pocket.
Brad Hardy picking up Maurice Rioli. That'll be an interesting battle. Hardy not known for his tight work as Lee picks up and snaps for goal. What has the captain done? We'll just wait. No, the umpire said it was over the boundary line on the full, and the penalty free kick will go to Footscray. It'll be interesting because the Hardy-Rioli battle, because Rioli is definitely short of match practice, and I don't know how his weight is. He looks a little bit overweight, to tell you the truth. His thighs are bigger than what they were normally, and to come in and having not played a game all year is asking a man a big task, as the ball is on that out a half-back flank. Quick kick, a high ball into centre wing. Underneath it, the players jostling, and what a nice mark. It's taken by Richmond's 37, which is Ron Thornton. And he plays on quickly, and the ball moved into the forward line to centre half forward. Off Pickering's chest. Can he control it in the second attempt? No, but there's a free kick going in the way of Michael Pickering. He was in that front position. He missed it on the first attempt, and Kennedy gave away that free kick for around the neck, and Pickering 30 metres from goal. He's got a ton of daylight between those posts. The ball on its way, and what a nice kick off the boot. That's Pickering's first goal and Richmond's second. They bridge the gap. However, Footscray are 3 straight goals, 18, and Richmond 2-1-13, and we've played 16 and a half minutes of this first quarter.
Well, a very important player in the Richmond attack is Michael Pickering. A two-prong attack with Michael Roach, and it gives Richmond 2 options. If one player's down, the other can play well, and if they both play well, it's a bonus for the Tigers. So we're coming up to the 18-minute mark of the first quarter here at the MCG on the Queen's birthday weekend holiday, as Tony Petraglia sends the Bulldogs up forward. Rance leading Jimmy Jess a run at the moment, supporting him there nicely there for the Tigers, and taking his time and sending it out as 51 as the Notting, and it's been taken there and marked by number 31 Brendan Bauer. So Brendan Bauer on the half-back line, sending it down to the centre wing for the Tigers. But Andrew Purser, and certainly Andrew Purser starting to play well again after a very disappointing start to the season, and he climaxed it with a big game against the Hawthorn side of Princes Park last Saturday, which was instrumental in the win of the Footscray side, as it's punched to the ground again from Beasley, and the Richmond defence under attack. Stephen Macpherson, who's kicked 2 goals already in this game and playing very well, chips it across to Stephen Wallace, and Wallace sends it to the half-forward line. Beasley one out. Can he come in? Philip Maylin. He's got control, straightens up and puts it through. Good goal, Phil Maylin, and that's Footscray's 4th goal. So it takes Footscray onto 4 goals, 44 points, leading Richmond 2 goals, 13 points at the 18.5-minute mark of the first quarter here at the MCG. Hardy, little kick, but not a very good kick, but Michael Ford, his teammate, gets the ball. Alan Daniels, a hand pass, and the Footscray side, Tim Jepp tries to bounce it, uncontrolled, good play, Dale Weightman, and Weightman not a good kick though. It comes to Stephen James. He's got Weightman again. He's got Pickering or Rioli. Rioli controls it. Just kicks it up in the air. Not a good kick there by Maurice Rioli. Michael Pickering waiting there on his own, but he ignored him, and Rick Kennedy gets it across to Kellett, and Footscray will relieve the pressure through Stephen Wallace. He sends it out to the wing where Tony McGuinness takes the mark for the Footscray side. A little left foot chip to Petraglia, and Antonio Petraglia, a bit of a bonus for the Bulldogs this year. Punched away there by 51 of the Richmond side as Dean Notting, but the umpire has decided there's a couple of the players having a little bit of a push and shove behind the play, and I don't know what he's going to do here. I think he's just giving him a warning, and the ball is going out of bounds on the forward pocket for the Footscray side as it's thrown in. No one can get the ball. Comes to the ground. Petraglia can't control it. Richmond, small men trying to move it. Could have been a free, but the umpire ignored it and said play on. Comes down to the centre wing. Brad Hardy coming to support. Takes it on the left foot. A little chip pass. His teammate couldn't handle it, and Andrew Purser playing well, the big fella. Gets it back to Hardy. Hardy goes around Eustice. A little left foot pass, but doesn't get to anybody in particular. A little bit scrappy the game as Ronnie Thornton falls on top of the ball and could have been given a free for not attempting to get rid of it then. And it will be all the players. I think it'll be a ball up over there on the half-forward flank for the Footscray side.
Footscray's left half-forward flank. 24, playing 19. We've played 22 and a half minutes of this first quarter. Oh, was that over the line on the full? We'll wait on the umpire. Yes, it was. Ron Thornton couldn't control that ball. And Petraglia goes short looking for Beasley. Has he found him? He has. What a magnificent chest mark. Good pass, Angelo. It wasn't Angelo Petraglia, but that was a magnificent pass. And Beasley, a sliding chest mark. He's only, again, 20 metres out from goal. He's not wandering very far from goal. Playing intelligent football, leading from the goal square. But he's gone a long way out to kick this goal. He started his run up 60 metres from goal. He actually only has to kick a 20-metre kick, so that run is going to be a 40-metre run as he comes in. Ball on its way. Looked nice off the boot, and he's kicked truly. And there's Beasley's second goal and Footscray's fifth. They're kicking very, very accurately, Footscray. They haven't scored a point yet. Footscray 5 straight goals, 30. Leading Richmond 3-1-19, and we've played 23 and a half minutes of this first quarter.
Well, light rain, I suppose it's very, very steady light rain, still falling here at the MCG. And the Bulldogs are kicking very accurately, and Simon Beasley's the key to this side. If he gets goals and leads out well, they seem to do well. There's Dale Weightman playing a good game. Comes to the ground. 15 is Murray Rance. Sticks it over the top to Brian Royal, and he sends it down the forward to Beasley. He's got to get a mark or a free kick. I think he'll get the mark, and he's certainly leading out in front, and Cowie has certainly got to tighten up his game there, because Beasley's a very dangerous player when he's got his confidence up. So in about the similar position where he kicked the previous goal, and as Don said, he's doing a similar thing. He's going back a fair way. So maybe it's giving his accuracy a better situation towards goal as he puts the head down and uses the drop punt. A little chip, offline this time and through for a behind. So that's Footscray's first behind of the game. Takes him on to 5-1-31. Richmond 3-1-19. Coming up to the 25-minute mark of the first quarter here at the MCG.
Well, Jess plays on quickly. There's nobody around. Royal comes in to meet. It's a high kick by Jess towards the centre wing. Lee and Purser set themselves, and a good mark, Andrew Purser. Had the drop on Mark Lee. Though the mark wasn't taken cleanly, the umpire awarded it. And a good mark, Andrew Purser. A torpedo punt in towards centre half forward. The pack set, and up high was Macpherson. Couldn't bring it down. Jess quickly. A high ball. Going to no one, and Neil Cordy will take a good mark, does. Plays on quickly. Baxter, 25, out. Good hand pass. Callett running down from the back line, goes high and a full forward. And over the back, did he nudge that opponent out? He did. Against Brian Royal. And it's going to Jim Jess. Royal caught behind there. He's only a small player. And now just to take the free kick. No. What is he? He's got to kick over the man on the mark. So Jess has got to bring the ball out towards the centre wing in front of the members. It's a high one. And behind Smith. Can't control it. Comes to ground. Daniels off the ground. Annear took his eye off the ball. Just couldn't control it. The players throw themselves over. Hit out towards Ford. Ford dodges. Handball sending it up to the running Daniels. Daniels stops. Goes into the goal square. It's a high ball. And over the back. Beasley. Has he taken it? No. And rushed through for another point. So that's Richmond's second, Footscray's second point, 5-2-32. Richmond the 3-1-19 at the 26.5-minute mark of the first quarter.
Well, the 13-point advantage to the Bulldogs as Jimmy Jess, been at the club since '76, came from St Arnaud. an experienced player for the Richmond side, and have played in their premiership side of 1980. As it comes down to the centre wing, controlling it is Johnny Annear. Can't control it. What's his name? Cordon, he runs into him. But, a little flick over the top, but he wasn't denied there, McGuinness. Not a good kick, but gets it down there. But coming through is Peter Francis. Can he control it? He gets it away from Petraglia, and a nice strong mark there taken just on the wing by John Annear. The hand pass to Dale Weightman. He's chipping it out, looking for, could have been a free against Kennedy, but the umpire said play on, as Roach can't control it, and there's Footscray support at the back, kicks it across. Kellett has got the mark if he's good enough, and he's taken in front of Maurice Rioli. Kellett kicks it down there. Stephen Wallace, which goes around Poole, sends it up to the centre wing. Punched away from Somerville by Francis. Peter Francis can't pick it up. Petraglia goes in and will go over the line and out of bounds. 27 and a half minutes played here at the MCG, and rain very steadily falling and getting a little bit heavier. And the Footscray side 32 leading Richmond 19 on the Pro Football scoreboard. Tony McGuinness on his unaccustomed right foot kicks it, but Craig Smith takes the mark. Well, Smith centres it. Who'll we got at the back? Purser punched it down, and playing well Purser on Mark Lee. As Wallace kicks it in. Could have been in the back there to Wallace. Not Wallace, Royal as 15. Murray Rance sends it down forward, but will go over the line and out of bounds in the forward pocket in the Footscray forward line.
Footscray's left forward pocket, 32 playing 19. We're into time on. The drizzle falling as the ball's thrown in. In front is Beasley. That's the position to play. Comes down Richmond clear through Thornton. And a good mark by the Richmond player, Dean Notting. Notting goes on quickly. Out there is Person, has the ball punched away from him by Terry Smith, and again the ball to be thrown in on the centre wing. The drizzle falling, and the players doing remarkably well in controlling this ball. Temperature 12 degrees, a typical winter's day in Melbourne. A good day for football, and the crowd at the MCG enjoying this game, as most of them are undercover. Poole shrugs the tackle, showing a bit of speed. Not a good kick off the boot. Trellick tries to trap it and hits the ball over the line. Safety first stuff. Good play, Mark Kellett. And the ball to be thrown in on Richmond's right forward flank. Doing the ruck work, Lee and Purser, the number ones. Comes to the ground. Wallace, the high clearing kick towards the centre of position. No one at home there. Baxter leading in front of Francis. Picked up well by Footscray's Royal. Royal across to Daniels. Beasley over his head. Steve McPherson leading in the race to the ball. Thornton right on his hammer. Well done, Steve McPherson. He's kicked 2 goals to date. Can't control the ball. The ball definitely is becoming slippery. And we'll see it thrown in on Richmond, Footscray's right forward flank, some 45 metres from goal. Rance has the ball punched away. Richmond handballing, regrouping as they clear off the half-back flank. Over Kellett's head, he comes back. Well done, Mark Kellett. Fends off that player in the customary way. Oh, missed the ball completely. That's not a good sign. McKellar across to Annear. Annear breaks through the centre, going towards full forward. It's a two-on-one situation. As we see Kennedy clear. And well done, Rick Kennedy, the Footscray captain, as the siren rings to the end of the first quarter. And Footscray 5-2-32, Richmond 3-1-19. Second quarter here at the MCG. The temperature has dropped by 1 degree since we've started this game. Started off at 12 and now we're at a cold 11 degrees at the MCG. McLean on for Footscray and coming off Cordy off the interchange bench. McLean started on interchange bench with Max Crow. Neil Cordy started on the back line and has been replaced as the umpire comes in and will ball up again right in the centre of the ground on the cricket pitch. 46 Footscray, 27 32 I should say Footscray, 19 Richmond. Coming over the ball, Pickering, a quick kick by Lee, has it smothered. Pack throw themselves again on top of the ball and the umpire has got to come in and bounce the ball. 5-2 Footscray, 32 Richmond, 3-1-19. Lee, Purser, ball comes to ground. A quick kick out by Wallace towards centre half forward. There's nobody really home there. Francis leading in the race for the ball. Young Somerville. Well done, Somerville, as he tackles Francis. Well, and this is well held up. The ball, a high one on its way. Is it going to go straight? No. Off Murray Rance's knee and through for a point. And that was good play, namely by young Craig Somerville. Brian Royal kicked a high ball in, and Murray Rance off his knees, as we see Jess coming in. 33 playing 19, and that's a good mark taken by Dale Weightman in the centre square. Weightman plays on quickly, going out towards the members. Leading in the race for the ball there is a Footscray player, Michael Ford, and he'll see the ball over the line in hot pursuit. Maurice Rioli, 27, and also Terry Smith. Terry Smith played a very solid first quarter. Purser Lee, Purser in front, shepherded down. Running well over the ball was Poole, couldn't control it. Wallace, centre wing, the ball down on the ground. Over it is Smith. Can he control it? He can't. Pulled off the ball. The ball now very, very slippery due to the drizzle that's fallen right throughout this first quarter, and he's still falling. Player slippery as Petraglia soccers it off the ground. Picked up, well done, Petraglia. Murray Rance involved as well, and a chip by Petraglia, the forward pocket. Royal can't control the ball, and Dean Notting sliding over the boundary line. And it's an adverse weather day today. The umpire's changing the ball at the start of each quarter, and they will need to. As we see Beasley doing the ruck work with Cowie. Beasley in front, hits it down. Royal eludes over the boundary line, and the ball will have to be thrown in again in Footscray's left forward pocket.
Okay, well, it's a 3-minute mark coming up on the Pro scoreboard here at the MCG, and Footscray 33, leading Richmond 19. As Macpherson, the busy Macpherson, has had plenty of action, has kicked 2 goals in this game so far, as Dale Weightman. And coming back now for his 6th kick as he sends it down to the centre, where you'll find number 23, Trevor Poole, will be paid the mark. Poole at the centre half-back position sends it in there to the centre, where it's been marked there by Pickering, and Michael Pickering will take it right in the middle of the MCG. Well, Pickering sending Richmond forward, the centre half forward, Kennedy and Roach, but coming at the back to take a mark is Allan Daniels and relieve the pressure for Footscray, and playing a pretty good game. Tim Jepp, the ex-Richmond player, controls it. Mark Kellett, good play Kellett, and takes the good hand pass, running through, and will be taken there by Brian Royal, and Brian Royal, just around about the 40-metre mark, just on a very slight angle, even with a little bit of moisture that's on the ball at the moment, should be in the area to kick this goal. Royal, and just would be offline there, I'd say, and through for a behind. So that takes Footscray under 5-4-34, leading Richmond 3-1-19. And the main goal kickers for the Bulldogs so far in the game: Beasley's kicked 2, Macpherson 2, and Maylin 1. And for the Tigers, Weightman, Annear, and Pickering 1. As we find that number 51, the Richmond player, Dean Notting, gets it out to help him as Jess, but he can't get it. Rance back to Notting, sends it over to the half-forward flank, and will be taken a mark there by number 23, which is Trevor Poole. So Poole sends it down to the centre wing. Rioli, Eustice on the left foot, but Purser playing a good game and out pointing the Richmond captain at the moment, Purser. He's got Wallace, and Wallace can run on if he wants to. He's got the leading Beasley, and Beasley's taken a mark. And Simon Beasley now with the long sleeve Guernsey on, and going back for his 3rd goal. Has played a very good game today, Simon Beasley. Has led out well, and that's a good full forward, leading out, giving his players down the ground the opportunity to pass to him. Beasley, head down at the 50-metre mark. What's he done? And I think he's put it through. Yes, a good goal, Simon Beasley. And that's Richmond, Footscray's 6th goal. So Footscray going to 6 goals for 40 points, leading Richmond 3-1-19 at the 5.5-minute mark in the 2nd quarter on the Pro Football scoreboard.
Well, that was a good pass by Wallace, but Footscray are aided by the fact, I think, that Cowie, Beasley's immediate opponent, has done a hamstring. He's limping off the ground. Beasley was able to get away, and Cowie really couldn't give chase. As we see Cowie being replaced by Manton. Manton going to full back. And there's a free kick going to Footscray in the centre, taken by Purser. A long kick, what a magnificent kick. Beasley behind Jess. Ball comes to ground. Annear quickly onto it. Can't control it. Paddled out by Smith. Smith will see the ball over the boundary line in front of Angelo Petraglia. And the ball will be thrown in Footscray's right forward pocket. To do the Ruckworth, Jess, 20. And 15 is Murray Rance. Rance in front. Jess coming over the back all the time. He's given one free kick away. He must learn to get in front. The ball controlled by McGuinness. A blind turn. Notting in hot pursuit. Daniels can't control it, and the pack descends on him. Well tackled, Tony McGuinness. Dale Weightman clears for Richmond. Across to Annear. Back to Weightman. Good buttering up. Which going into the centre is Weightman. Smith. Smith can't control the ball. That was good tackle by Ford on Smith. And now Footscray are running the ball into the forward line. Wallace going long over the pack's head. Will it go straight? No, it goes right across the face of goal and beats Steve Macpherson over the boundary line. And also giving chase there too was Craig Somerville, and the ball to be thrown in on the left forward pocket for Footscray. Beasley. Ball down, controlled by Royal, off the pack and through for another point. We've played 7.5 minutes of this second quarter. 41 Footscray, 19 Richmond. As we see Peter Francis bringing the ball in for Richmond.
Well, Francis sending the Tigers out the back, but Alan Daniels could have been a free kick, but the umpires let the ball go over the line and out of bounds. And coming up to the 8-minute mark, we've got Footscray 41 leading Richmond 19. And the busy players of both sides, Hardy and Daniels, have had 5 kicks each, and Annear 6 and Weightman 6. So those players in the action as Rance at the back with Jess. Couldn't come to the ground. It's picked up there by the Tigers, and it's cleared out to the centre wing. Rioli over the back of his head, missed by Brad Hardy. Good play, Maurice Rioli. Flicks it on. Cordy just back it up though. Gets the hand pass. Goes to Hardy again. Flicks it over to Mark Kellett. Kellett on the right foot, sending the Bulldogs back into attack. And number 26 there is young Peter Baxter. He can't control the ball. It could have been a free, and it will be played there to Alan Daniels. And he's a very busy player today, Alan Daniels. And a little bit of talk about him not playing well, and Footscray might be having a look at him with the salary cap, but he's certainly playing well at the moment. Comes to the ground. It should have been a free kick to Footscray, but Richmond come out, taken there by Annear. The hand pass. It's sent up there by James. Oh, good play there by Annear. Weightman couldn't take the ball. And players fall on top of it, and will be a ball up in the centre as rain once again is starting to fall here at the MCG.
Well, the umpire picked out a free kick and went to McKellar. McKellar in turn to Rioli. A high ball down in the half forward flank, and there's his immediate opponent. Brad Hardy playing a kick behind the play. And either Rioli's getting away from Hardy or Hardy's getting away from Rioli. Rioli, a short pass out looking for Peter Baxter, and he's found him. Now he goes on quickly along that outer flank, across the centre wing. The ball punched away from Craig Somerville by Peter Francis. Picked up by Maylin in towards centre half forward. Steve Macpherson in lead for the ball, picks it up. Coming through Ronnie Thornton, the ex-Brunswick player, goes in towards the centre, and taking a good mark is John Annear. Plays on quickly. Coming through Richmond to the centre. Eustice to Weightman. Weightman looking down the ground. Poole giving good position and getting a good kick. Getting away from Steve Wallace. Good play, Richmond. That was a good build-up through the centre there. And Weightman spotted Poole, getting away from Wallace, and chipped a nice ball over the pack's head into the forward pocket. Now Trevor Poole, only 20 metres out from goal. Richmond desperately need this as Poole lines up. The ball not a good one off the kick, but he has kicked truly for Richmond's 4th goal. And that bridges the gap. Poole's first goal, Footscray 6-5, 41, Richmond 4-1, 25. And we've played 10.5 minutes of this second quarter.
Well, an important goal to Richmond there, because Footscray have had a lot of the play in this game so far. And that goal certainly can help the Tigers regroup, and now they're 16 points behind, and give them a bit of an opportunity to get back into this game. As the umpire, McDonald, not a good bounce. Lee, not having a good day today, big Mark Lee. 31 there for Richmond Bow, couldn't control it. But now the Tigers go forward. Michael Roach not in the play. Kennedy holding control over it. There's plenty of Richmond personnel there. There's Johnny Annear. A left foot chip pass, but not a good kick. He kicked it straight to Brad Hardy, and it wasn't very well directed.
That was a shocking kick because he was looking for young McKellar, 57 there. McKellar made a good lead and a near shocking disposal as the ball goes out to Maylin. Maylin playing on quickly, looking further down the ground, goes into the centre, a little chip to Petraglia. Petraglia playing on quickly down towards the centre half forward position. Notting, is there going to be a clash? No, there's not. Notting's the first player back onto it. He's got support there through Manton, but decides to kick well, smothered by Beasley. Manton back over the ball. Royal, quick kick, centres it. Baxter, there's a group of Richmond players there. He's swamped. Francis picks up quickly, sends it out towards the centre. Leading in the race there is Wallace. A quick hand pass across to Baxter. Baxter chips the ball in towards centre half forward. Over the hands of the pack. Rance picks up, fires for goal. And he's kicked it. Footscray's 7th goal. 7-5-47. Richmond 4-1-25.
Well, bad play from the Tigers down forward, as Don said, and that opened the Footscray opportunity up, and that goal there from Rance resulted in the situation, and it's given Footscray that control they had initially. So 7-5-47, Richmond 4-1-25, and Footscray looking a little bit more of a smoother unit at the moment, and the Tigers seem to be battling forward, but not much cohesion and cooperation there.
Pickering off and Perd on at centre half forward, Ray.
Okay, well, Mark Lee, he's got to get into the game because Person controlling it as the pack descend on it, and umpire Clayton will say, let's give us the ball, boys, and we'll throw it up and let's clear it away. So just over the centre, he's bounced it, so the ground is still in good shape. Good knockout there from Purser. Could have been a free to Petraglia, and but the Richmond player got in front there, and it's the Dale Weightman on the right foot, shoots it across, trying to make a yard. Is I think that's Neil Peart, and the ball will let him and I think it's Michael Ford to go over the line and out of bounds. 13 minutes played. The Pro Football scoreboard reads Richmond 25, trailing Footscray 47, and Lee and Purser. Weightman could have been a free. The umpire said no, play on. Taken away by Philip Maylin on the left foot, shoots it across. Players just trying to control it. Peart, he's got a hand pass a bit too slow as Steve Macpherson gets hold of him. It could have been the back there to Ron Thornton, but the umpire doing well here. The umpire's letting the game flow a bit under these conditions and go over the line and out of bounds. Well, the Footscray controlling the game at this stage, Don.
Well, they are, Ray, on the scoreboard especially, and they're very, very precise when they go into the forward line as Wallace gets the ball, looks up, lifts his head. Not a good kick off the boot. Manton getting away there by himself and takes a good mark. Play on, says the umpire. But there's a free kick and it'll go to John Manton. Manton, who replaced Darryl Cowie, who limped off the ground. A short kick finds Thornton all by himself. Now Thornton's got a ton of time. Goes towards the centre. Wallace over his head. Can't control it. Eustice goes through the centre. Back to Annear. Annear, a left footer. Looking out there for Daniels. They can't find him. The ball on the ground. Players can't control it. Picked up by Eustice. Back in towards full forward. Roach, Jeff and Kennedy. And the ball will go over the line before those three players could get to it. And the ball to be thrown in on Richmond's left forward pocket. We've played 14.5 minutes of this second quarter. 47 Footscray and 25 Richmond.
Well, Don, Maurice, Rioli certainly looking short of condition from all these situations.
Well, it's hard, Ray, for a player, I don't care who he is, to come into a game halfway through a season and expect to pick up the tempo with no match practice whatsoever.
I agree, Don, as the ball goes forward. Punched away from Roach by Kennedy. McLean on the ground now. Over to Maylin. And Footscray look control. They look like they know what they're doing when they get the ball. And Macpherson takes the mark on the half-back flank. And Steve Macpherson tries to go around Ronnie Thornton. He's going to get himself into trouble. Lucky that they're starting to lair eyes a bit, Footscray, as Maylin kicks it and taking a nice mark there from Michael McLean. So Mike McLean, a good footballer for the Bulldogs. The umpire has decided that he went over the mark, or the Richmond player went over the mark. And 15 minutes have gone here in the second quarter, and the rain once again starting to come down here in a steady run.
Well, the ball's getting a little hard to control, Ray. Right. This drizzle is more or less kept up for the start of the whole game. 45 minutes. and the ball is getting heavier as the game progresses, and each quarter the umpires are using a new ball. As we see it go up to the half-forward flank, the pack set themselves. It'll come to the ground and will go over the boundary line to be thrown on Richmond's or Footscray's left forward flank.
Well, as Don said, Don Scott, my fellow commentator, the ground's getting a little bit top of glassy and a bit of shine on the ball, and it's very hard to control. But Michael Pickering gets the right foot. Jimmy Jess, and Jim Jess, for Richmond to get back in this game, players like Jimmy Jess have got to lift their game, and on the centre wing, sends it down forward. Roach and Kennedy. Kennedy at the back will punch away as he normally has since the game started. Kicked off the ground there by Stephen Wallace. Michael McLean takes the mark on the half-back line. He goes around, and once again Footscray having players supporting all the time as they send it back down to the half-forward line, but there'll be a mark there taken by, I think it's 35. That'll be Michael Pickering, and he looks like he's on the back line at the moment. Sends it across to 51, and that's Dean Notting. Notting, a little chip. Can't be taken there. Coming through is Tim Jepp, the McLean. Can't control it. Brad Hardy to support. Weightman, and it'll go over the line now to bounce. So 17 minutes gone, finding Footscray 47, leading Richmond 25. A 22-point lead here in the second quarter, Don.
Ball, Richmond's right forward flank. Purser Roach. Ball comes to ground. Rioli, can he? No, he can't control it. And it goes over the boundary line to be thrown in again in exactly the same position. Roach, Purser to do the ruck work. Roach, well done, Michael Roach. Purser tries to kick it off, he can't. Bauer, and the ball shot out and over the boundary line again for another throw in. Some 70 metres from Richmond's goal. Roach and Purser. Over the back by Purser. Maylin leading in, the Jess coming through quickly. Obviously playing on the forward line now. Started off at centre half back. Bauer over the ball. Can't control it. A free kick. The umpires found one. It'll be going to the former Richmond player. Now playing for Richmond, Tim Jepp. Now Jepp. Half back flank. Going towards the centre wing. Pert in front. Rance punches the ball on. Ron Thornton leading into the race for the ball. Controls it. Well done, Thornton. Doubles back, gets around Rance, goes into. So where did he turn that ball? That has actually gone behind him. That's the first time I've ever seen that. Done as Francis picks the ball up, out on that outer centre wing. Callett and Rioli. Rioli using the hand, fends Callett off. Very well done, Maurice Rioli. Players finding it hard to control the ball. Callett, a quick kick out. Wallace. Also out there is young Craig Somerville, and it'll beat Stephen Wallace over the boundary line to be thrown in on the centre wing. 47 Footscray playing Richmond 25, 18 and a half minutes, nearly 19 minutes of this second quarter.
Well, the Bulldogs in control here at the moment as Wallace sporks and gets on the left foot, a little chip hand pass across to Royal, and he's got Tony Petraglia, went for the mark one-handed, and it should be a free kick to Richmond, but the Footscray get it through, but the Tigers have got a chance to get out of here, and they will clear out the back through the agency of James. It goes across with McGuinness, a hand pass. He's got plenty of options. It's the Footscray player straightening up there. Somerville, number 25, has kicked the goal, and that's a goal that Richmond didn't need, and that takes Footscray on to 8-5, 53. Richmond 4-1-25. Pro scoreboard, 19 and a half minutes in the second quarter, and Footscray look like they're in control at the moment, Don.
Well, they do, Ray. They're more than double Richmond's scores. We see the ball was handballed out to young Somerville, playing on the half-forward flank. Only a small player, not over-endowed with speed, but he kicked his first goal, and it's good to see the players running up and congratulating him after that goal. Roach in the ruck now, hits it back to where it came. Weightman, well rove. Not a good handball. Wallace coming through strongly. Gets tackled by Weightman. Well done, Dale Weightman, giving a good lead. Controlling the ball, McGuinness goes quickly onto the left foot, and not a good kick. Pert can't control it, comes to ground. He'll be paid a free kick. Neil Pert started his career at Collingwood, went to Richmond, then transferred to Footscray for half a season, and now back at Richmond. A high kick out to the centre wing. The pack flight comes to ground. In there over it, Purser, Jess, and Michael and Tim Jepp picking the ball up just as the umpire blew the whistle, and the ball to be thrown up or bounced down in front of the members' centre wing. Jess, Purser. Nobody could get that hit down against Jimmy Jess, I would say. And Jess is coming from behind all the time. Jimmy, don't argue with the umpire. You are in the wrong. You should be told to get in front. Now Purser tries to balk around. Not a good kick. Maylin, can he control it? No, he can't. Comes to ground. Weightman over the top of the ball. And the umpire, again, will have to come in and bounce the ball right on the edge of the centre square.
Well, Andrew Purser certainly continuing on his good form from the previous week. And Mark Lee at full forward, now Michael Roach in the ruck. And the Tiger big men not doing well here. There's Annear. Gets a chip. Here's the man again. Purser couldn't just get that then. The supporting is Jeff. He flicks it over to Royal. Royal to McLean. McLean on the left foot. And he sends it forward, but Peter Francis, or no, it's Peter Francis just couldn't get it. And then we find coming in to support was Manton, who replaced Cowie, who went off with a hamstring. And Cowie now down, Manton now down at full back on the danger man Simon Beasley, as Beasley will take the ruck work there. No one can get it. Petraglia flashing in as Somerville. He flicks it over the top. Richmond in the back. There was Michael Roach, and the ball will go over the line. 22 minutes gone. Bulldogs controlling this game as they have since the inception of the start. And you'll find Footscray 8-5-53 leading Richmond 4-1-25. 32 points in front, the Bulldogs, and doing it on the bit at the moment. As coming out the back there is Neil Peart. A long kick, but they're taking it there would be Baxter. And Baxter takes a nice control mark. Should be nearly a 15-yard. The umpire says play on. He sends it down there where Alan Daniels with Stephen James. I think the ball might beat him over the line. No, good play there from Alan Daniels. Kicks it on down to the forward line. No one there for the Bulldogs as Peter Francis will send it back. I think you'll find Wallace overruns the ball. Callett at the back to support there, trying to get the hand pass is Somerville. Callett again. Umpire says you're holding the man, and will be a free kick there to Mark Callett for the Footscray side.
Now Callett about to send Footscray into attack. Jess now at centre half forward, named at centre half back, sends a long one. The players fumble. Francis quickly back onto a cross goal. He tries to relieve pressure, and will it go over the boundary? It's gone through for a goal. He tried to kick it straight across the straight across the face of the goal. Went off the side of his boot through the goals for a point. A point because the opposition player kicked the ball. Now Footscray 54, 29 points in front of Richmond 25. Manton, not a good kick, back to the centre square. McLean in there, coming through hard was Weightman. Follows up well, the ball on the ground. It comes out to Petraglia, a quick kick down to full forward line. Francis in front of Somerville. Francis gets his kick, relieves. Bomber James leading in the race for the ball with Alan Daniels, and the ball over the line before both players could get to it, and to be thrown in on the centre wing. Number 3 is Mark Callett, 17 for Footscray, Phil Maylin. Roach now in the ruck. Wallace, a quick kick to nobody. Running out and meeting the ball, Dean Notting. Notting onto the left foot. Has he kept it in? He has, and that's a good mark taken by Terry Smith. A solid player is Smith. Originally from Richmond, went to St Kilda, now back at Richmond. There's a lot of these players seem to transfer from one club to another. And that was a quick kick, and Maurice Rioli has taken the mark, getting away from Hardy. Plays on quickly, going to forward. Lee has the ball punched away. Well done, Weightman. And over the top of the ball. Coming back down to his Eustice. He goes onto the left foot, snaps. And has kicked Richmond's 5th goal. Mark Eustice kicks Richmond's 5th goal. Footscray 8-5-54. Richmond desperately needed that goal. They are 5-1-31.
Well, 23 points behind the Tigers, and the Bulldogs have been in control for the 2 quarters so far, and have looked at more of a more smoother unit. Footscray. Richmond have struggled up forward, and Mark Lee at full forward at the moment. Roach wasn't playing well there, and Mark Lee was struggling in the ruck against the big fella Purser, so Tony Jules swapped them round, but Footscray seemed to be doing it well, Don.
That was Brad Hardy's fault then, because he's such an attacking player. You know, he thinks attack all the time, but he should have picked up Rioli, and Rioli was responsible for getting that ball down.
Well, Petraglia sending Footscray forward, and comments there by former Hawthorn captain Don Scott as the ball comes out there, and Macpherson trying to control it. Ronnie Thornton in front of him. Macpherson gets the kick as he is pulled up. Maylin, the experienced Philip Maylin, over to young Somerville, but the ball will go over the line and out of bounds in the forward pocket. Well, Don, certainly Footscray have come back to their 85 form in the last few weeks, and they're continuing on here at the MCG today.
Well, I think Footscray are a little bit not apprehensive, a bit blasé about football. They weren't really applying themselves in the first part, and they can't afford not to give 100% because a lot of these players haven't got the ability as of their other champions, and they got there through application last year, and you've got to admire the application that they showed, and they must apply themselves each time they go out and play football if they want to remain a power in league football. Well,
I think they're certainly back in town now, Don, and their attitude's back the way it was, and I'm sure the Footscray hierarchy will be very pleased with this as Michael McLean sends it, a little kick across. Somerville at the back is Francis, coming in there for the Tigers is Stephen James, and he sends them back. Jimmy Jess tries to flick it over. Andrew Purser playing well, controls it, good play. Goes across to McLean, and they're too fast, the Bulldogs, but not a good kick, but wasn't taken there by the Pickering, and it comes back down, and you've got Mark Kellett playing a good game at centre half back, and Footscray got plenty of options, players looking for one another, but not a good kick. And 31 as Brendan Bauer takes the mark on the half-back line to relieve the pressure. Well into time on, coming up to 28 minutes is Jimmy Jess, and you'll pay Jimmy Jess, umpire Clayton. And Jess goes it over to Weightman. Should have been on the shoulder, umpire. Yes, good umpiring. And Jimmy and young number 3, Weightman, made the play then, Don.
Actually, it was a good free kick too, because Richmond were well on their way there, and you had to stop play. As we see Wallace come through from half-back, goes out to no one in particular, leading in the race for the ball there is Thornton, and the ball will beat him and Steve Macpherson over the boundary line. Now play right on the centre wing in front of the members. 54, Footscray, playing Richmond 31. 28 minutes of this second quarter, the drizzle's still falling. Roach, Rance also in there. Ball comes to pack, Rioli over it, and he'll get a free kick. Rioli just coming into the game the last couple of minutes, took a mark, and now has taken this free kick on the centre wing. Goes in towards centre half forward. Jess, nudged out by Ford. The umpire said play on. Annear off the ground. That's the type of stuff to do. You can create a lot of opportunities, as Annear did by kicking the ball off the ground, and in front is Trevor Poole. Now Poole, 50 metres from goal. It's a nice kick off the boot. Will the distance be there? It is. We'll just wait on the umpire right as the siren went. He's kicked Richmond's 6th goal. Trevor Poole kicks his second, and Richmond 6. Footscray 8-6, 54. Richmond 6-1, 37.
You want to be a real footballer? I've been a real footballer. You've got to look like a real footballer. You've got to go for the mark. The VFL mark. Go for the mark. Go for the mark.
Go for the VFL mark at leading stores. Real footy gear, real footy accessories, real footy supporters gear too, in all club colours and badges.
Go for the mark. Go for the mark. Go for the mark.
Go for the VFL mark at leading stores.
Welcome back to the MCG, the third quarter of the pro football game between Richmond and the Bulldogs. And Footscray 54 to Richmond 37, and a 17-point lead as Purser, playing well all day, gets the ball. Terry Smith kicks it high in the air. Michael Roach in the ruck. The ball goes to the ground, comes to the ground where players can't pick it up. It's flicked over there by Bauer. And then Richmond centred forward by Annear. Punched the back by Cordy. Coming in as taking it away as Wallace. And Steve Macpherson with what's his name, number 37, Ron Thornton, lets the ball go over the line and out of bounds. Well, Don, Richmond, this is the quarter they've got to get back into this game.
Well, they do, Ray. They trail 54-37, and they tried hard in that second quarter, but just not good enough. Footscray were far more cohesive, as you see Rioli going down towards Richmond's forward line over the pack. Leading him for the race of the ball are Footscray players everywhere. Number 12 is Tim Jeff, gets it out to Hardy. Hardy always by himself, never picks up a man. And the ball over the boundary line. Brendan Bauer, number 31 for Richmond. And also in picture, Michael McLean. Now the ball to be thrown in. Richmond's right forward flank. Roach Purser, ball coming down. McGuinness, a quick kick back up along the second wing. Nodding in front, over the top of the pack. Thornton back onto it quickly. Francis nodding, and the ball will beat those two players over the boundary line. And the ball to be thrown in on Footscray's left forward flank. 54, Footscray playing Richmond 37, and we've played 1.5 minutes of this third quarter. A clearing kick by Richmond right along the boundary line. I think has it. It has. That was unfortunate for Michael McLean. He just touched the ball as it went over the boundary line, and the free kick will go to Bauer. Bauer on the centre goes in towards the centre wing. I'm sorry, on the centre wing, goes into the centre. Jess quickly playing on, going down forward. It's a high kick behind Kennedy. Ball comes to the ground, leading in the race for the ball. He's Baxter, and he'll paddle it through the goals. And that Richmond player doesn't look too good. Trevor Poole looks like he's limping. He is limping. A number of other Richmond players don't look too good. Mark Eustice as well. So 38 Richmond. Footscray still in front, 54.
Well, Rick Kennedy, the captain, sends it out. Rioli working his way back into the game in the second quarter. And Richmond go forward again. Lee, oh, he missed Hardy. Bradley Hardy's got time to get the ball. Oh, he's been caught. Can Mark Lee get the ball? But Michael McLean's got time to trap it. Gets around, and I think you'll find no free. He waited for the free from the umpire, and it wasn't played. Not good play, Michael McLean. And actually, Don, when you look at the score or the play since up to half-time, Footscray had most of the game, most of the control, but Richmond are not that far behind on the scoreboard.
No, that's true, Ray, and the game really hasn't been a high stand, mainly due to the drizzle that was falling in that first half. And players finding it a little bit difficult to control the ball as Purser goes out to the centre wing. The big pack fly, Rance coming down to Bauer. Bauer in front, paddles the ball and pushes it over the boundary line in front of John Annear. The ball now on the centre wing. Richmond kicking to the left of our screen, naturally enough, Footscray to the right. 54 playing 38. Footscray in front, the ball comes to ground. Wallace in over the top. McGuinness just about to get away with the ball, and umpire Clayton comes in to bounce again. The play on Richmond's right forward flank. Over the back, Purser. Roach now in the ruck, Lee up forward. And the free kick will be going to Brendan Bauer. Now Bauer 60, 70 metres out from goal. A high kick looking for Lee. The captain in front, over the back, Poole. The ball comes to ground. Poole follows up well. Shepherd's good play, Poole. Across to Rioli, onto his wrong foot, the right foot. A chip, punched away. Ball comes to ground. McLean over the top of it, can't get it away. Baxter clears onto his left foot, a high ball. And a good mark taken by Michael Roach. Now Roach goes quickly on up forward, looking for players, no one in particular, overruns everybody. Stephen James in there, number 40, and he will see the ball go over the boundary line. And that Footscray player doesn't look too good with his hands on his hips, and that's Peter Baxter. Now the ball on Richmond's left forward flank. Purser and Lee. Lee gets it down, taps it through his legs. Hardy dodges, put under pressure and loses the ball, and the ball again to be thrown in. Some 40 metres from the Richmond goal. Lee, Purser, over the back by Lee to Annear. Annear's got a chance. He's tackled onto his boot quickly, and he's kicked it. Richmond's 7th goal, 6th goal, and Annear's 2nd. Footscray 8-6-54. Richmond 6-2-38. Oh, we're waiting on the all clear. The umpire didn't give the all clear. He's just caught up in a little altercation behind play. Now the goal is signalled. So it is 7 goals to Richmond. 10 points of difference. Footscray 8-6-54. Richmond 7-2-44. Cordy on and Michael Ford off for Footscray.
Well, that was John Annear's 2nd goal, and he joins Trevor Poole as the other main goal kicker for Richmond, and he's kicked 2. The Tigers, these first 10 minutes are important to Richmond, and I get a feeling they're working their way back into this game. It'll be a free kick to Eustice, and the Richmond side, actually about the last 10-minute mark of the second quarter, started to look a little bit better. And Eustice, not a good kick. McLean punches it away. Can the Richmond side get it? Rioli, he's been involved in the last few plays. A little chip pass as he found him. He Footscray back line, all of a sudden under a little bit of pressure, and the ball will go over the line and out of bounds. Well, Footscray 54, Richmond 44, and it's only a 10-point lead. And up to half-time, Footscray should have been about 5 or 6 goals up on their playing performance on the ground, but the Tigers are working their way back in, and this could be a good last half. Smith, little left footer. Jeff, the ex-Richmond player, can't control it, and all of a sudden Footscray are under a little bit of pressure and starting to do little things like dropping the ball and not controlling it like they were in the first half, Don.
Now the ball to be thrown in. Richmond's right forward flank, Purser over the back. No one can get it out. That was McGuinness. Rioli, who's certainly come into the play the latter half of that second quarter, early in this third quarter. Maylin, a quick right foot kick, and a good mark taken by Ron Thornton on the centre wing. The rain has died in this early part of the third quarter, making the ball much easier to control. Goes up towards centre half forward. Cordy couldn't control it, gets onto it quickly. Smith over the top of the ball, noted for his courage and his drafting ability. Traps the ball right on the square, on the corner of the centre square. Now umpire Clayton to bounce. 60 metres out, 70 metres out from the Richmond goal. Up high, Roach. Well done, Michael Roach. Jumped into... Oh, there was a free kick, was it? Yes, my word it was. And umpire Clayton picked up out. That's against Perth now. Eustice plays on quickly to centre, down to the full forward. Lee in front. The ball over the top. Well read by Poole. He gambled on it. The ball came through. He snaps onto his right foot and just didn't bring it back and over the boundary line. In fact, that didn't even register a score. And out of bounce on the full in Richmond's right forward pocket. And Richmond certainly controlling the game in the opening, the early 8 minutes of this third quarter. You see Brad Hardy taking the free kick.
Well, all of a sudden we've got a ball game here at the MCG, and the Brownlow medalist Bradley Hardy sends it out. Footscray, not good play there from the Footscray player, and it's okay for up in Mexico for the World Cup, but you've got to put the ball up over here, and the ball goes over the line and out of bounds. Well, 8.5 minutes gone, and the Tigers back in this game. Footscray 54 to Richmond 44. And the Richmond side very sluggish up to half-time, but all of a sudden they've got a little spark in their play, as no one can get control of the ball. The umpire, Clayton, will come in and ball the ball up and clear it away. The main goalkickers of the Bulldogs, Beasley's kicked 3 and Stephen Macpherson 2, and Stephen Wallace has had 10 kicks and Bradley Hardy 8. And Footscray now trying to work their way back in. That's McLean on the left foot. Footscray go forward for the first time in the third quarter. Really a good mark for the Tiger player there, and I think he's going to play it. Yes, he has. And we'll find that looks like number 51, Dean Notting, who's played a very good game today, Notting. And he looks to deceive his age as he sends it there, but not a good kick. Not a good attempt there from Wallace. But the umpire's doing it though. Rioli is working his way back in. Can't control it. McGuinness, Rioli on the top of the ball, and the umpire will bounce the ball. Maurice Rioli working his way back in this game.
Well, he has. He started off very slowly, Ray. I don't think he's very fit, but he's certainly having a purple patch at the moment. Now the ball right in the centre square on the hard cricket pitch. It's a good bounce. Crow, Roach. Ball coming down. Got out by Footscray. Smith, twist, turns, gets a handball across to James. Now he's got an open paddock. He goes high into the full forward position. Lee has the ball punched away from Kennedy. Comes to ground. Wallace over the top. A quick kick back into the centre, and taking an easy chest mark is Craig Smith. Smith plays on quickly. Changes direction of play. Goes out to Bauer and finds him. The young fella from Lake Boga getting away from Michael McLean. A quick kick on the half forward flank. Pickering in front, has the ball punched away. Cordy, Jeff in there as well. Pickering goes back, and Cordy pushes the ball over the boundary line, and the ball to be thrown in Richmond's right forward flank. 33 Royal, 24 Wallace. Crow and Jess to do the ruck work. Crow gets it down to Maylin. Maylin, a quick left footer down to centre wing, over the head of Macpherson. Pickering in there as well. Rance over the top, and nobody can get the ball out. And the umpire just coming in to speak to the two players. Michael McLean got a little bit frustrated. John Annear, number 5, 27, Maurice Rioli, normally plays in 17, or did play in 17. The ball comes down. Eustice, a quick kick down the half forward flank. into no man's land. Lee in the front. Well done, Mark Lee, over the back of the head. Terry Smith, well done as well. Dale Weightman, you've got a chance, gets pushed and goes goalward. He's done it, Richmond's 8th goal, and Richmond right back in this game. Footscray hold a 4-point advantage. Footscray 8-6-54, Richmond 8-2-50, and Dale Weightman has kicked his second. The goal kickers for Richmond. Trevor Poole has 2, Dale Weightman 2, John Annear 2, 1 each to Mark Eustice and Michael Pickering. For Footscray, Simon Beasley 3, Steve Macpherson 2, 1 to Craig Somerville and 1 to Murray Rance.
12 minutes in the third quarter on the Richmond side are back in this game. Now it's up to Footscray to fight back. As well, but the Tigers have got control as Annear sends it down forward. Pickering behind his opponent and Timmy Jeff. Coming in to support us, Weightman. And he's, could have been a free kick there against Brad Hardy. He must play that umpire. There was nothing unfair. Bradley Hardy went for the ball. And unfortunately, Dale Weightman was where the ball was, and it'll be a free kick. But all of a sudden, the Richmond player, foolishly, number 31, he tried to take the law in his own hands, Brendan Barron. He'll learn that as he gets experience in this game, as he should keep his nose out of it, and Richmond lost the free kick.
Well, that was a costly free kick then, Ray. That was undisciplined play by Bauer, because Richmond certainly had the free kick and they could have gone deep into their forward line as the ball's thrown in. Rance and Roach. Rance on the second attempt. Thornton, a handball out. Rance punches back over the head again by Macpherson. McLean punches on again, but over the boundary line, and the ball to be thrown in, and Footscray's left forward flank. 54 Footscray, 50 Richmond. We've played 13 minutes of this third quarter, and the rain's starting to come again. The light drizzle. There was a break for a while, but the drizzle has come down again, and this will make play particularly difficult. The first half wasn't startling football, but it was grafting type football as players tried desperately to control the ball. And there's a free kick, and it'll be going to Murray Rance. Now Rance, some 60 metres from goal. It's a left foot. A high kick looking for Beasley. Keeps his eye on the ball. The ball comes to ground. Who can control it? It's Footscray. Daniels can't get a hand pass. Tackled well by Jones. And the ball over the boundary line and to be thrown in. Some 30 metres from the Footscray goal on its right forward flank. Purser. Huts over the back. That was a good tap out. Rioli starting to read the play now. Streaks away from the half-back line. Up there, Hardy. Should have punched the ball, Brandon Hardy. Everybody will applaud, but that was undisciplined play. Very lucky to bring that mark down from behind. And certainly this fellow takes the game into his own hands. He might get the plaudits of the crowd and captures the umpire's attention, but he does do some undisciplined things. Punched down by Roach in towards Rioli. And Rioli, is he having a purple patch? A nice kick down. Overruns with the whole play. Kennedy back onto it quickly. He won't control it. Jeff slips at the crucial moment and get a free kick. Tim Jeff against Pickering. Pickering tried to break the tackle and pushed Tim Jeff in the back.
Richmond side, and they've got the run on and they want to just go for the ball and get it down to the goals, because that's where it's all going to happen, is that the ball goes Petraglia. A little bit quiet today, and Rioli is in everything, and the old Rioli, beautiful play, Maurice Rioli, over to James on the left foot, straightens up Mark Lee. You've got the mark, and you've got the Mark Lee, and he took a great Mark Lee. And the Cyril Kennedy. That's not a good day, Mark Lee. If he's any good captain, he should kick this. This is the goal which we need. 15 and a half minutes gone. We can
soon as Richmond kicked that goal, it was interesting to see the number of water carriers that have all run out from Richmond. They're all carrying messages. They're not trainers, they're runners, and they all run back to the same place, and that's right on the boundary. Are they flouting the law or not? There's only supposed to be one runner out there. We know that there's always a second runner out, but to have 7 is simply unbelievable and incredible. 56 Richmond, Footscray 54. 16 minutes of this last quarter, and it's heavy rain. Now Richmond right back into the game, and the ball will be hard to control as it's kicked off the ground. Leading out is man, well tackled. Pickering over the top of the ball. Who'll get it out? It's Richmond. They break away from that half-back line. France is now wearing long sleeves. Sends it out over the head of Poole. Coming through is Hardy. Players won't control the ball. That's the only thing to do, Bower. You did the right thing. Try and soccer it off the ground. Break open the pack. And in comes umpire Clayton, I think it is. Or could it be McDonald to bounce the ball? Anyway, play on the centre wing as a change. Coming off is Cordy. Going on is Baxter. Or Purser going off. And Somerville coming on. So that's an interesting move. The big fellow going off, Purser, and Somerville coming on. And played back in the centre here. There's a little bit of an altercation. Bauer, you should learn, son, don't get involved. Brian Royal, and the kick down to centre forward. The pack fly coming down to the ground. That's in nobody's land. The ball in dispute. Rioli's the first on it. Has certainly come into the game in the early part of this third quarter. Royal drops the ball. It's wet. Coming over the top of it is Rance. They're working hard is Weightman. Somerville gets tagged. And the umpire will have to come in and again bounce the ball at the true centre half forward position for Footscray.
Well, Footscray now, all of a sudden, Richmond are putting pressure on Footscray, and they're not looking such a smooth unit as they were in the first half. And Richmond have got a little bit of a scent here at the MCG, but both sides are in a good position now. Who's good enough can win this?
Temper's a little bit frayed, Ray. We see Annear and McLean, and McLean giving Annear a little bit of curry.
Well, I guess this is the time now that tempers will become frayed, Don. It's raining, and it's a very vital part of the game. There's umpire McDonald still bouncing the ball. Keller kicked off the ground by the Tigers. Rioli and everything. Oh, Mark Eustice, good play, reads it well. Can he get his kick? He does. Down to the forward line. Michael Pickering leading in the race. Picks it up. Goes round. Hand pass. Oh, Michael James ran right on his Footscray opponent. And oh, there's a little bit of an altercation there, Don.
Well, that was a strong tackle there. A strong shepherd by James on Tim Jep. And Jep took exception to it. And as soon as the play broke down, Jep ran at James. It was a strong shepherd. But Jep should just bite his lip and wait for the opportunity to come his way. Now Temper's a little bit frayed. Is there a free kick? Now that was against Tim Jep, and it's going to Stephen James. Now James really did suck Jep in, and you can't afford to do this. There's only 2 points of difference. And James, a shocking kick, Hardy underneath, and has the ball punched away by Terry Smith, and the ball now in Richmond's left forward pocket. 2 points the difference. 56 Richmond. They've hit the front for the first time. Footscray 54. We've played nearly 19.5 minutes of this third quarter. Crow on the ball. Purser off the ground. Roach coming through, controls it off the side of the boot. The ball drops. No one can control it. Petraglia picks it up. Crow onto the left foot. Clears out in the half-back flank. McGuinness has it punched away by Pickering. Onto Weightman. Weightman balks, turns, goes onto the right foot. Now dodges around McGuinness. Now goes long into the full forward position. Hardy underneath, over his hands. And is there a free kick? There is. It won't be going. It'll be going to Rick Kennedy against Mark Lee. Now Kennedy, the Footscray captain and fullback. Spots. Oh, that was good play. Oh, that is not a free kick. It was good play by Kennedy to break it up, and well done by Bauer. He saw Petraglia going to take the mark, came in strongly, punched the ball, and that's not a free kick. Forward on for Footscray, Daniels off. The ball comes to ground, well fed out by Richmond. Pickering going in, lifting his head over the top. The players just can't take this ball now. It's like a greasy pig, just coming through strongly. The ball in dispute, coming through hard at the Richmond players. Annear, they desperately want that ball up forward. Jess, a high kick under extreme pressure. It's a high ball and comes to Hardy. Hardy breaks away quickly. And an educated kick or a missed kick, well, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt, and the ball to be thrown in as the sun starts to shine through, but that doesn't matter. The rain's still falling here, and it's a cold winter's day here in Melbourne. Crow and Lee. Ball comes to ground. Eustice spins out of the pack, goes goalward, but smothered in the attempt. Hardy over the top of his head. Players finding great difficulty in controlling the ball. We just saw there Terry Smith looking to go into the centre, but just couldn't control that ball and slipped out of his hands to be thrown in again on Richmond's left forward flank.
The ball's like a piece of soap at the moment. The rain is pelting down here at the MCG, and well, both sides have got the job ahead of them. It's only 2 points of difference, and Richmond have got the lead. But they're doing all the work. Weightman, a very busy player this quarter, has a shot for goal, and I think you'll find 29 Neil Cordy will be paid the mark. No, he went over the line and threw for a behind. So Richmond move on a 9-3-57 to Footscray 8-6-54.
Crow off, Purser back on, Ray.
Right, Don, 22 minutes gone here as Rick Kennedy sends it out again. And it goes out to the half-back line. Jimmy Jess, and Weightman has been in everything. Flicks it back, but the ball will go over the line again and out of bounds. Well,
this game certainly has hotted up in this third quarter, Ray, and it's terrific when we get a contest. There's only 3 points of difference. We see Purser back on the ground too. And Richmond get it out, and they're working extremely hard. They've controlled most of this game in this third quarter here. Ball comes to ground. Smith, he can control it. He's tackled and slung off the ball. Weightman, can he get away? He does. A handball to nobody in particular. Baxter coming through. He's met solidly by a Richmond opponent. Pickering in there. Can he control? No, he can't. And pushed over the boundary line by Michael McLean. But the umpire said, throw it in. So the ball in Richmond right forward flank. Right forward pocket, I should say. I'm getting a little carried away. It's a good game, the 2 number 1s. Lee gets it down, but there's a free kick to Andrew Purser. Purser got in front. Lee put his hand over the shoulder, and you've got to get that front position. The ball's going to drop now, especially when it gets wet and it's heavy as it is, and this light drizzle's still falling. Temperature at 11 to 12 degrees. It's a typical winter's day in Melbourne. It's a high ball, and that should be in against McGuinness there. Annear gets it out, and he'll go goalward. And a short kick, and it is found off the side of his boot. Right inside that 50-metre line is Terry Smith. Now Smith, a very solid player. A real grafter, known for his courage. He's not a very good kick. The ball on its way. It's not a bad kick off the boot. Right into the goal square and over the back of the pack and through for another point. So Richmond just edging away point by point from Footscray. 58 Richmond, 9-4-58. Footscray 8-5-54. We've played 24 minutes of this third quarter.
Well, Richmond have kicked 3 goals, 3 this quarter, and Footscray haven't got off the score at half-time, 8-6. But it's still not big enough lead, only 4 points. It's Rioli there working. The Bulldogs now coming out there, I'd say ducking his head as Royal, but he gets the ball high in the air. A little bit of a push. The umpire says no free kick paid. Should have been a free kick before umpire, but young Somerville gives it away.
That's the evener up, Ray.
I certainly agree with you, Don. There's number 24, Neil Peart. Who's got the ball? Wallace. A little bit quiet today, but Wallace, good play, Wallace. He's got Beasley, but the ball, to be fair to Simon Beasley, just slid off the ground and went over the line and out of bounds in the forward pocket. Well, time on coming up here at the MCG, and the last quarter should be a big one because there's only 4 points difference. And all due regards to Richmond this quarter, they fought their way back into this game after looking not very good at the halfway mark of the second quarter. Peart handballs it over. Annear. They couldn't get the ball, and once again it goes out of bounds. Well, players like Annear and Weightman have worked their Richmond side back into this game, and a lot of the Footscray players are doing well early in the first half, have seen defaulted and haven't been cited since half-time, but they've still got a quarter to go. James could have got the free, but no, the umpire said you acted. Loyal, as he got Maylin at the back, punched away, picked up by Rance. Peart, can you turn around and take it on the chest? You can't. Oh, look out! Could be a kick off the goal by Footscray. Just didn't get to it, the young player.
Comedy of errors there. I don't suppose you could really call Peart an error, but Beasley tripped over Peart, had a late armers there to kick a goal, but this is a fantastic game now, especially in this third quarter, as we see the ball taken out. And did it reach the boundary line before it was touched? It did. So the ball to be thrown in. Cordy just touched that ball in an attempt to mark, and the ball to be thrown in, and Footscray's right forward flank. 3 points the difference. Purser over the back, gets it down. There's a free kick and going against Eustice. And going to Brian Royal. Royal didn't have the ball. He was right underneath Purser's feet, took a good tap out. Now he goes long, he does. Looking for Beasley. Beasley in front, can he hold it? No, he can't. Coming back onto it is Thornton. Dodges. Hurry up, get your kick. He does. Or get rid of it. Francis back to Purser. Purser can't control it. The pressure's certainly on. Hardy well up the ground. Dodges, now goes forward. A hand pass. Out further, Rance. Rance backs to Wallace. Wallace chipping the ball out. Leading in the race there is Roach. And well done, Michael Roach. This is really good football now. Oh, kept in play. Bummer James should have taken it over the line. And what a fantastic tackle, Dean Notting. That was terrific stuff. This game really has come alive in this third quarter, and the ball to be thrown in on the centre wing, right in front of the members' stand. Purser. Roach now on the ball. Lee at full forward. McGuinness can't get rid of it. Notting throwing himself over the ball. Desperate stuff, and the umpire's got to come in and ball the ball up.
Well, Michael Roach has turned the clock back about 3 years at Richmond when he had a big year in the ruck when Brian Taylor was here competing for the full forward post, and he's doing a good job. As the ball comes down there, it's the hard-working Weightman. He's done it all today. Flicks it on. McLean, he's got time to steady. Goes back on the right foot. Brought the ball out. Oh, bad luck, son. It's slippery, and unfortunately goes over the line. 27 minutes gone here. Third quarter, Pro Football scoreboard. Richmond 58, Footscray 55. As the boundary umpire throws it in. Roach and Purser. Purser back on the ground as Max Stroh has probably been booked for loitering. He's gone back off the... hasn't done much since he came on. As the ball comes down, picked up by Annear. And Macpherson works his way. He can't get it. Work back in. Ball goes to the ground. Macpherson, good son. Flicked over by what's his name? Thornton. Comes to the ground again. And the three-quarter time scoreboard siren rings behind the Tigers. 9-4, 58. Leading Footscray 8-7, 55. A 3-point lead to the Tigers at three-quarter time.
Well, we're in here for a fantastic quarter at the MCG. 3 points the difference. Richmond 58, Footscray 55. It'll be a fantastic last quarter as Roach gets the hit out. Bauer tackles Petraglia, and there's a free kick going to Petraglia to Footscray. Now right in the centre square, Petraglia to relieve for Footscray. Goes high down to the half-forward flank. Hurd in front, trips at the crucial time in front of Rance. Rance butters up, hits the ball out. Play in dispute at the moment, nobody can really control it. Quickly cleared by Richmond back onto the centre wing. Leading in the race is Wallace. Can he control the new ball? He can't. It goes over the boundary line and to be thrown in right on the centre wing. The goal kickers to date for Richmond. Weightman has 2, Annear 2, Poole 2, and 1 each to Pickering and Eustice. Lee in front. Petraglia, a quick left foot kick down along the boundary line. Pickering leading in the... Notting, I should say, leading in the race for the ball in front of Royal, and the ball to be thrown in. For Footscray, their major goal kicker is Simon Beasley. 2 to Macpherson, 1 to Craig Somerville, Phil Maylin and Murray Rance. Doing the ruck work, Rance. McLean. Over Pert's head, can't control it. Macpherson, can he? No, he can't control it. There's a free kick. Going against Craig Smith for around the neck now. Macpherson, well within kicking distance, only 25 metres from goal. And I don't have to say it, but Footscray desperately need this goal to remain in the game. 3 points behind. Steve Macpherson started the game very well, kicking 2 early goals. Now lining up for his third. Ball on its way. Is it a good kick? It looks all right. And there's a 9th goal for Footscray. They're back in front. A 3-point advantage. 9-7-61. Richmond 9-4-58. And this game, the Pro Football game of the day. Richmond and Footscray.
Well, a couple of vital free kicks there, and Steve Macpherson, who was very prominent early in the game with the first 2 goals. That was a good goal that Footscray really needed, and the was having a little bit of a push and shove there with Ronnie Thornton on the centre wing after that goal, but back to the action. Purser. Can Footscray come home? Maylin. Fix it down. We got Francis. Pushes Somerville aside and sending it down to the half-forward line with Stephen James. Should have went with the two hands. Mark Eustice working the ball. Gets around his Footscray opponent, Johnny Annear, and John Annear takes the mark. Plays on. Annear goes around the forward. Goes around Maylin. Centres it for Lee, but there's Footscray play. Oh, bad play. Poole, can he get it across there? Kicked off the ground by Lee, but the ball will go across the line and out of bounds in the forward pocket. Well, Footscray certainly didn't contribute much in the third quarter, and they only kicked 1 point to Richmond 3-3. So certainly a lot of the Footscray stars weren't glimmering then, so they can work their way back in if they just lift their performance. As Lee tries to kick the ball off the ground, and umpire Clayton decides to throw the ball up to give it a bit of a clearance in the attacking zone for the Richmond side. Well, Pro Scoreboard shows Footscray 3 points ahead and coming up the 4-minute mark. He's bounced to the game with all this rain. The ground's in very good condition. Left foot kick out there by the Footscray defence, but we find number 37 taking the mark as Ron Thornton. What's he got? A little pass, and he's found Terry Smith. Well, Smith went to St Kilda when Tony Jewell left the club, but came back with his coach, and always a go at Terry Smith. Tries very, very hard. Now this is a very important kick. 35 yards out, not a good kick. Swings across the face. Footscray defence will come in across it. Eustice, can he control it? He's trying hard. Players jumping on top of him. He won't get a free kick. Not deserved, and the umpire will come in and ball it up.
Well, play very, very desperate at this stage. We'll see umpire Cameron Clayton coming into bounce at some 40 metres from the Richmond goal. Over the back from Purser. Maylin relieves. Goes out. That's the kick you've got to do. Pert leading in the race for the ball. Traps it before it goes over the boundary line. Gets around McGuinness. Now goes long. He'll have to, and he does. In towards the centre, trying to change direction of play. Leading in the race for the ball there is Smith. Oh, nearly has his head taken off. Terry Smith, well done. And turn goes long. Looking out, finding Rioli. Rioli playing on quickly, and there's a Richmond man unattended. Slow down, have a chance, Bomber. He lines up. Has he done it? Bad luck. In actual fact, that was bad play by Bomber James. Stephen James should have steadied down. He was well within kicking distance and had a deliberate shot for goal. Anyway, a point closer for Richmond. 59 Richmond. They're being led by Footscray by 2 points. 9-7-61 Footscray. Richmond 9-5-59. We've played 5.5 minutes in this last quarter. Alan Daniels, is he coming on? There's 19 men on the ground.
19 men on the ground, Don.
Michael Ford looks like he's in a little bit of trouble over there, and Daniels was going to come on. Ball comes down, punched away, and there's a free kick. Going to Mark Lee against Purser. Now Mark Lee. 50 metres on the 50-metre line there. Plays on. It's a nice high kick. Has he got the distance? Oh, what a magnificent kick. Fantastic goal. That was from 50 metres out, and that ball, although not quite as heavy as it will be towards the end of the quarter, it's still heavy, and that was a fantastic kick. That's the goal of the day, and the goal coming right at a crucial time. Richmond have now back in front, 10-5-65. Footscray 9-7-61, and Mark Lee's first goal.
Would you say that's a captain's goal, Don?
That was a fantastic goal. He noticed that the player wasn't quick enough onto the mark, and all the water carriers are out there again from Richmond. They're not giving them water, they're taking out messages. Roach is back in there. Purser, Roach gets it out. The game's certainly livened up. Maylin tries to get it out, and a good mark by Royal right in the centre. Now Royal. Send it down quickly, Royal. He's looking for Beasley. He's gone for Beasley. Beasley leads, comes out, meets the ball. McGuinness underneath. Bauer there as well. McGuinness tries. He can't get it. Weightman. This is terrific stuff, Dale Weightman. Good, well done. Terry Smith by himself. Lifts his head. Goes to centre half forward. It's a high ball. Lee in front. Tries to tap it over the back. Comes to the ground. Footscray players. Will they get there? No, they don't. The ball tapped on the ground. Hardy underneath. He'll trap it. Is well smothered. Eustice back on it quickly. Has the tackle. Over the top of it is Baxter. Baxter breaks from that half-back line. Has his kick smothered. Over the top of the ball now is young Somerville. Craig Somerville can't control it. Coming through is Perth. He'll go long. He does down to full forward, and Hardy all by himself relieves for Footscray.
Well, Brad Hartley on his own as usual sends the Footscray side down. He's looking for young Somerville, and the boy goes into the fence, and it's going to be out of bounds on the full. And fortunate enough for the boy, he wasn't hurt as he hit himself into the fence. So
Daniels on forward off Ray.
Right, Don Bauer. This is a game of now. It's really a game because it goes over the line out of bounds in front of the half-back flank for the Tigers.
The rain falling again. This four-point advantage might be crucial as far as Richmond are concerned, because the ball will definitely get heavy as this rain is starting to fall quite heavily. The ball being thrown in. Purser, Roach in front. Purser gets it down. McLean, a quick kick up towards the centre wing. Leading in the race for the ball there is Craig Smith in front of McGuinness, and Smith to see the ball over the line and again to be thrown in. This four-point advantage could be as good as 2 or 3 goals on a normal day, because this rain is starting to fall and the players will find it difficult to control it. Purser, Roach, the ball comes to ground. McLean can't control it, does on the second attempt under a duress from James. Craig Somerville coming through. Francis can't control it, goes back, tackles Francis. Francis traps the ball, and again the umpire, what is he doing? He's going to bounce it right on the boundary line. He's bringing the ball in some 10 metres. Should have bounced it right on the boundary line there. Comes to ground, not a good bounce. Roach with the left hand. Maylin can't control, goes onto the right, tries to break the tackle. Can't. James, Maylin underneath again. Players appealing for the free kick, and umpire Clayton's got to come in and bounce the ball again. 65 playing 61. 65 Richmond, 61 Footscray. We've played 9.5 minutes of this last quarter.
Well, the next goal is going to be very vital. Purser, not a good kick from Smith. And Footscray have really got to go after this ball now as it comes to the ground. No one can control it. Kicked off the ground by Daniels to Macpherson. Richmond once again get the break and sending it down to the half-forward line. Up there is Jeff, he can't take it. Can he get there? Pickering, he's working, but good play from Jeff. Oh, Richmond, the pressure. Kennedy, and it'll be forced over the line and out of bounds. Well, a lot of pressure in this game now, and there's certainly, since half-time, Richmond have really worked their way back into this game, and Footscray have certainly had a game on their hands.
Somerville off, Ray, and Ford now back on.
Right, rain really falling steadily. The next 10 minutes so important in this game. As the umpire said, give it to me, fellas. And I don't think you'll find any ticky-touch free kicks we've played now. It'll be first the ball, and they'll be the ones that'll be paid the free kicks if there are any. So 10 minutes gone. There's only 4 points in the difference between the two, and Richmond holding that lead. Eustice tries to kick it over, and the ball will go over the line and out of bounds again.
It's a low-scoring game, Ray. 65 playing 61, but that's attributable to the rain. The rain now really falling down in buckets here. It was light drizzle. A lot of people, 35,000 enjoying a terrific game, and 35 people can enjoy it here because a lot of them are seated under cover. As the ball comes to ground, coming through is Baxter. Gets it out. James coming through, can't control the ball. And if Richmond can get a goal here, that'll be the goal that'll seal the game, I believe, because this margin of 4 points could be a winning margin. It's one straight kick, but can Footscray get the ball down there? I don't know. It's only early stages, 10, 11 minutes played. Rioli comes on the ball, goes on his right foot, goes goal. What's he done? He's kicked it. Maurice Rioli has certainly come alive in the second half. Onto his right foot. 71 plays 61. Richmond 11-5, 71. Footscray 9-7, 61. And that could be the goal that seals the game. It's only early stages, but this rain will certainly slow Footscray down. We see Rioli goes onto that right, but what magnificent snap it was for goal, and a very timely one.
Well, that's Rioli's 12th kick, and up to half-time hadn't been sighted, but now his condition's getting better. He worked his way back into this. Is it good enough? There's still a lot of time to go, and Footscray are a top side, and they've got to work their way back in. As Purser sends it down. Beasley! Beasley! Oh, against Simon Beasley! Against Simon Beasley!
A free kick against him.
I don't know whether that was a free
kick. It was. You can see that. Now another 15-minute penalty. Beasley was behind. Simon, you know you were behind. Get in front. John Mann to relieve. Now the umpire, if he doesn't shut up, he'll be gone. They're chesting one another there by McDonald. Crucial stage. Footscray desperately needed that mark, but Beasley pushed Manton in the back. Now up towards centre half forward, and coming out to meet it was Baxter. He can't control it. Jess in there. He'll get the free kick. Now Footscray losing a little bit of composure. Jess definitely acted, but he was slung around the neck, but he made sure the umpire saw it. He's 60 metres from goal.
He's a good kick, Don. He
usually kicks these torpedoes, but that's not the type of kick you'd like to kick in this rain, because you can't really control it. It'll probably go off the side of the boot. But no, needless to say, Jess has made a liar of me. It's a beautiful kick. A magnificent kick, Jimmy Jess. There's the 12th goal, and that's definitely the seal. 12-5-77 Richmond. 9-7-61 Footscray. Jimmy Jess has kicked his first.
Well, Footscray have fallen away very badly since half-time, and back to the bad habits of early the season. As we'll find Cordy coming off and big Max Crow coming on. The conditions wouldn't be suiting Max Crow in these as the rain's falling down, and Richmond have got the set now. Coming up to 14 minutes, they've cleared out to 16 points in front, 77-61. And I'm sure the boys at the Morning Star Hotel in Williamstown who watch the Richmond games every week will be very pleased at this, as the ball goes to the ground and the umpire will give it a ball up. Well, can Footscray get in, back into this game? They're a final five side. They must work their way, and they've got time if they're good enough. Umpire McDonald, Roach, McLean, Richmond, over Annear. Coming out there for Footscray is Rance. Kennedy, kicks it off the ground, but it was in the play, and the ball goes over the line and out of bounds. And the umpire's giving a free kick over there, Don. Can you pick up why? And who's the player?
No, I couldn't pick it up, but Mark Lee's got the free kick.
Right, well, Mark Lee, the captain. And kick to goal, is it Mark Lee? Yes, you're right, Don. So Mark Lee has kicked two. Kicked one, sorry, and he's going back for his second. Kicked a great goal, walking in. Has kicked two, Don. That's right, has a shot, and he's put it through! That's got to be the sealer! That's got to be the sealer! And the Tigers are running wide at the MCG. Richmond, 13-5-83. Footscray, 9-7-61. And the Bulldogs' final five aspirations are going down the gurgle here at the MCG. On the Queen's birthday game.
Well, that's two magnificent goals kicked by the captain. That on a very, very acute angle. He kicked one earlier, and that was from a long, long way out. It was a real two captains' goals. We see Roach now playing with a lot of confidence, as a lot of his Richmond teammates are. They're roving in packs now, Richmond. Always where the ball is now. Footscray have got a chance to go into attack. Maylin lifts his head. He's got to go long. He does. Crow can't move. Coming through strong. He's nodding. Doesn't take the ball with him though. The pack fall on the ball. Who can get it out? Nobody can. Smith, handball along the ground. Out the bomber James. James, and now that left footer going long deep into Richmond's forward line. Over Kennedy's head. He tries to kick it off the ground. McLean gets away from Lee. Get your kick, Michael. You can't muck around. Go long. He does. On that centre wing and taking a good mark for... Here's Bomber James. Nearly gave it away to McGuinness. Now James, that familiar left footer going towards centre half forward. There's a push in the back. You've got to play in front of these types of games. And the Richmond player then... It's
going to Kellar, Don.
That's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Maybe the umpire thought that Weightman shepherded Kellar out. But I thought Kellar gave Weightman a push. But anyway, who's to argue? The umpire's in control. Kellar up into the centre square. Daniels off the ground. Macpherson, Rioli has certainly come into it in this second half. A high kick. Knocking for nobody. Over the head of the pack. Handball out. Now going long will be Annear. He does, but there's nobody. Homers on him. Footscray and Hardy playing loose and wide and wild. Way from his opponent. Chips the ball out to the half-back flank. And this will be punched over the boundary line. No, it's kept in place. Smith along the ground. Goes to Weightman. Weightman goal. Well, what's he done? This is unbelievable. Goals are raining here at the MCG as Richmond come home with a wet sail. And Weightman's kicked his third goal. And Richmond really storming away. Richmond 14-5-89. leading Footscray 9-7, 61. We've played 17.5 minutes of this last quarter.
Well, the Tigers are now 28 points in front, and Footscray are really letting an opportunity go down the gurgle here, because the Bombers in trouble at Windy Hill, and they could have been nearly in the 5 tonight, as the umpire McDonald to bounce the ball. It's Roach, and he's turned the clock back 3 years, Michael Roach, in the ruck. He's played a great game. As the ball comes out there, working it hard, is Trevor Poole, and the umpire now starting to look after. No, it's Richmond, because the Tigers are now first the ball, and Footscray's game has fallen away very dramatically since half-time. 18 minutes gone here, Don, and Richmond 89 leading Footscray 61.
Since half-time, Ray, Footscray have only added 7 points. 1 goal, 1 for the second half. That's disgraceful.
Well, Don, then the Tigers have, I think they've kicked about 8 goals, so that tells the story. Jess, they've got so many good players. As Cordy sends Footscray back out. Up there, punched away by Smith. Francis, it comes to the ground, and there'll be a free kick to Smith. McGuinness gets the hand pass, flipped over by Wallace to Crow. He wasn't there. Eustice working hard, flicks it on the ground, kicked off the ground by Annear. It comes down there. Richmond players all on their own. Smith, who's worked hard since half-time. A little flick over. Who's he got? Tries to find Weightman. Weightman can't control it. Picked off the ground then by Maylin. Eustice sends it up there. Kellett on the chest, and Mark Kellett. He runs off. Bad play. Oh, it's falling apart at the seams, Footscray, as the ball goes to the ground again, and there'll be a trip paid there to the Bulldogs by Tim Jepp. Well, Timmy Jepp to relieve the pressure for the Footscray side. Kicks it down there, but Ronnie Thornton, no mark. He should have held that longer. Macpherson comes to the ground. McGuinness kicked off the ground. Francis coming through as Piatt. Works his way through the pack. No free kick. Could have been a free to Macpherson, but not paid. Francis kicks it high in the air. There's 3-4 Richmond players. Jimmy Jess taps it down. Weightman, can he control it? Tries to work it away, McLean. Great play, just bad luck he couldn't get it. McLean falling on top of it. Kicked off the ground. Oh, look, this luck's a fortune. 23, Trevor Poole shoots it up there to the full forward. It's Kennedy and Lee, and goes over the line, rush through from behind, so makes Richmond even more safer. 14-6-90, leading Footscray 9-7, 61, 29-point lead.
Well, 20 minutes played in, it's an unassailable lead as far as Richmond are concerned, a 29-point lead. 90 playing 61, and they have certainly controlled this game in this second half. Who would have believed Richmond would have come out the way they have? Bauer goes long, Kennedy in front, over the top, and will it bounce through for a point? No, it bounces over the boundary line, and the umpire has got to throw the ball in Richmond's left forward pocket. Well, Richmond certainly have come alive. Mark Lee has kicked 3 goals, also Dale Weightman, 2 to Annear, also Trevor Poole. And the ball in dispute as Hardy goes in. The umpire, kicked off. They should have thrown themselves on the ball. The Footscray defenders there as the ball's kicked out and forced through for another point. Trevor Poole has kicked 2, and 1 each to Mark Eustice and also Michael Pickering. For Footscray, they've slowed down. If they were racehorses, they would have been swabbed. Macpherson has 3, Simon Beasley has 3, 1 each to Craig Somerville, Phil Maylin and Murray Rance. Play now out in Annear's vicinity. Annear going in towards centre half forward. Jess, Bauer in there, Hardy coming through as Jeff. Roach right at the fall of the ball. Can he get it out? No, he can't. Maylin. Players trying to get it out. Jeff. Francis, a quick kick back to the forward line. Coming out to meet it was Weightman. He can't control it. Rance in there. Hardy spins, gives it across to McLean. McLean off interchange bench earlier in the game. Up near Thornton. Daniels there as well. The players over on the ball. Smith. Thornton back onto it. Butters up. Throwing themselves in here. Oh, it's Craig Smith. He got one around the head. And Steve Macpherson, number 27, forces the ball over the boundary line to be thrown in right on the centre wing.
Well, Richmond going with their 5th win now, and it looks like pretty safe. It's coming up the time on, and they're holding a 30-point lead. And one of the good players, Dale Weightman, has certainly been the player that's kept them in it, especially early when they weren't doing so well. And 26 is Peter Baxter. Oh, no, play on, says the umpire. Here he is, Johnny Annear, another good footballer. Purser, gone out of the play, sends it down. Max Crow couldn't take it. Petraglia, he's been absent today. Crow again. Royal, another quiet player. Piatt, he's got players on his own if he wants it, but he's kicked it straight across the half-back line. Coming back there is Kellan. But look at the pace of the Tigers. But Hardy supporting, he could have been gone. Stephen James, straighten up on the left foot. You can really stick it down. Another goal. And they've got this game well won, Richmond. Richmond, 15-7, a 6-goal lead. 15-7-97 to Footscray, 9-7-61.
Well, the rain stopped falling here, but it hasn't stopped as far as Richmond are concerned. They're raining goals. And that was a magnificent tackle by Richmond. And that set up the goal for Bomber James. I just don't know who laid that tackle on Brad Hardy, but it was real desperate stuff. And Richmond coming home. Fantastic football in this last half. Now back in the centre. Umpire Clayton, Roach, Purser. Purser gets it down. Weightman has been a terrific trier and set an example. And Ford, who went off injured, takes a safe mark on the Footscray half-back line. Eustice standing the mark. Michael Ford, what can he do? He can only go long and hope. They've got to resign themselves now to the fact that they've lost the game, Footscray. Richmond in an unassailable position, 36 points in front. As the ball is forced over the boundary line, Max Crow, number 6, Neil Perth playing at centre half-back, named on interchange, has come on and played a solid game at centre half-back. Crow and Roach. Roach gets it down, Annear. Weightman, a quick kick along the boundary line. Ford punches from behind. The ball has stayed in, it has Baxter across to Maylin. Maylin, a quick kick back down along that boundary line. There's players everywhere. Well done, Max Crow. That was intelligent play. Trying to force the ball on. A little bit indirect as far as his punch was concerned, but the intention was good. 97 playing 61. The ball on the centre wing. Favouring the Footscray end. Crow pushes. Francis. They can't do anything wrong, Richmond. Players throw themselves over the ball. The umpire again. Umpire McDonald will have to come in and bounce it. Number 35, Pickering, 25, Wallace. Pickering went off early, didn't play particularly well, and up on the forward line, was taken off. And now is back on the ground. 39, Craig Smith being a solid player. Max Crow's been on and off the ground, gets it down. McGuinness has been rather quiet, goes in long looking for Beasley. Manton behind, has he taken? He should have punched it. Royal, well done, Brian Royal. Goes goalward, and he's kicked Footscray's 10th goal, and it is a belated goal. That's their second goal for the half. The scores, Richmond 15-7-97, a 30-point advantage. Footscray 10-7-67, and we've gone into time on in this last quarter.
Well, since half-time, the Tigers have kicked 9 goals, 3 to Footscray, 2 goals, and a disgraceful performance from Footscray after their last couple of weeks beating top sides Hawthorn and Carlton to get themselves poised to go into the 5. And they've destroyed it all today with a bad performance since half-time. But anyway, you're taking the away from Richmond. They've certainly worked their way and played very well. As the Tigers now send it up forward. Kellett, but in front of there is Alan Daniels. It's Mark Kellett. Mark Kellett gets the ball, sends it back to the centre wing. We're coming across to try and trap the ball. And Timmy Jepp and Smith, the 2 number 12s. And I think you were a bit fortunate to get a free kick there, Tim Jepp. Anyway, so Jepp, centre wing, 26 minutes gone. Flicked on by Max Crow, Macpherson. But Richmond, as it's been the case since half-time, having plenty of support for one another. And Michael Roach lets the ball go over the line and out of bounds. Well, 15-7-97, Richmond, Footscray 10-7-67. 30-point lead at the moment. Francis kicks it high. Forward, Jess, could have been the back from Rance, but he says no, play on. Andrew Purser does a little balk and sends it to centre half forward. Macpherson, Max Crow flicks it over, and he's found Alan Daniels. Alan Daniels just off the line and will put it through from behind. Well, Footscray now takes them on to 10-8-68, trailing Richmond 15-7-97, and Don Michael Malthouse will be very disappointed with this performance from the Bulldogs.
Well, that move forward then, it was about the 6th time Footscray have gone forward in this second half, so that's indicative of the way they play. There's the 7th time through Stephen Wallace. Has the ball punched away, Simon Beasley by Manton. The ball on the ground. Petraglia spins, goes goalward. What has he done? It's another major, so they're starting to come home, but it's a little bit late now. That's their 11th goal. Petraglia's first. Footscray being led by Richmond. Richmond 15-7-97. Footscray 11-8-78. Angelo Petraglia's first goal. Has tried hard today. He's been on the ball. Has roving, now up forward, having a rest. Snapped it over his shoulder and kicked Footscray's 11th goal.
Well, umpire McDonald, the Seagulls have landed, so giving an indication that the bay's nice and smooth, and they've all come here to pick up the scraps from the people who left them today as the ball goes to the ground. And they might be picking up a few scraps from the Footscray people today, because they are very disappointed, I'd say, tonight as the ball goes to the ground. And you'll find that there'll be, I think, Dean nodding. Should have maybe played a free. No, it's Peter Francis, as the umpire will give another ball up. So Clayton, Purser kicked off the ground.
I don't like that rule, Ray. We see there Purser tried to kick the ball off the ground. Somebody is going to get hurt, and that is a stupid rule. And as soon as they bring in the old kicking in danger, the better it'll be. Players will be able to go confidently for the ball when it's on the ground. As we see Roach hit it over his left hand. Wallace coming through, has the ball smothered. Smith, 39, leading Petraglia, gets his kick and clears out to that centre wing. There's no one home. Rioli taps on the volleyball stuff. Stephen James, Bomber James, roams up and down that outer wing from half-back flank to half-forward flank, named on the half-forward flank, and he sees the ball over the boundary line, and the ball will be thrown in on Richmond's left half-forward flank. 74 Footscray, Richmond 97. We're right into time on, 29 minutes played. We're only going to wait for time, the siren to ring to finish this game, as we see Michael Roach tap the ball along the ground. Players just going through the motions. We see here Pert goes goalward. Long, Kennedy over the back, and yes, he has been paid a good mark behind Mark Lee. Mark Lee has kicked two inspirational goals, a long goal early on, and then a magnificent shot from the boundary line. Goals that Richmond desperately needed. Kennedy to McLean. McLean on that outer flank goes long, and Roach in front, can't control it. Eustice picks up, spins around, now goes high. Underneath, Murray Rance has been a solid performer today, and one of the few Footscray players I think that could at least hold his head up. Now Rance going long again, the left footer. Crow in front, Pert behind, the ball comes down. Thrown off the ball, there's that kicking in danger. Petraglia using some speed, trying to get away from him. He goes goalward. And what's he done? Another goal, his second goal in a matter of 2 minutes, and that's Footscray's 12th. And that makes their score a little bit more respectable, but Footscray can really hang their head. The scores are not indicative of the way they've played. They've put in a shocking second half. They're trailing by 17 points. Richmond 15-7-97, Footscray 12-8-80.
Well, I guess a plus to come out of this game for the Richmond side would be Maurice Rioli's contribution since half-time, and
has died out of it a bit, Ray.
But that's right, Don. But at least when the game had to be won, he did all the things in the third quarter, you'd agree. And the sirens run here as Michael Roach kicks the ball, and the final scores here at the MCG: Richmond 15-7-97, defeated Footscray 12-8-80, a 17-point win to the Tigers.
You want to be a real footballer? I've been a real footballer. You've got to look like a real footballer. You've got to go for the mark. The VFL mark. Go for the mark. Go for the mark.
Go for the VFL mark at Myer. Real footy Guernseys, real footy shorts, and real supporters wool jumpers in all club colours and badges.
Go for the mark. Go for the mark. Go for the mark.
Go for the VFL mark at Myer.
What a grand performance by the Tigers, considering they were down some 29 points in the closing stages of the second quarter, but a great second half, and inspirationally led by Mark Lee and Dale Weightman. The final scoreline: Richmond 15-7-97, Footscray 12-8-80. Lee and Weightman, incidentally, both contributed 3 goals apiece for the Tigers. Beasley and Steve Macpherson 3 for Footscray. Richmond's win today places them in 8th position on the ladder and still in with a chance of making the 5. Footscray are in 9th spot, and many still believe they too can make the 5. It's going to make fascinating viewing in the weeks to come, and we hope you'll be here with us for all that action on Pro Football.